first and then go do all that. Theme tune. Come start.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Toon review, and tonight is the fan forum with me and Billy and all of the Newcastle fans here on the fan forum. First of all, how you doing, Billy?
I'm good, mate. You?
Not too bad. Hope everyone's all right in the chat. I can see all the rabble on in the green room, but we're going to go through a few comments. But before we do get into the fan forum tonight, everyone, can you please drop us a subscribe and a like, as it does boost us up in the algorithms for YouTube, so you guys can find the Toon review on the recommending page on YouTube, and also you can find the socials down in the description below. Right, so evening Mary. Hope you're all well. Discord is really good to have a convo in. Says James. Up the A1 evening, and then John Fez is there. Good evening, Fez. Evening, Matty. Roy says evening all. Forgive me if he's been mentioned before, but Evan Ferguson looks a real deal. Has it been mentioned or rumoured? Billy, what are your thoughts on Evan Ferguson?
Good player, but we haven't really any shape, way, or form. So,
for me, with Evan Ferguson, I think it's his first breakthrough season. I think Brighton need to give him one more season to proper develop him, because I think things with these upcoming players, they move on really quickly from their current clubs and then they fail at a bigger club. So I feel like give Ferguson one more year. Evening, Tom. How you doing? Good evening, everyone. Looking forward to another great show, says George. Evening, George. Evening, George. Ian A. Evening, everyone. Evening, Ian. Evening, Julie. And then Ian A. Hello, Fez. Steve Mallon. Well, I joined the Discord this afternoon and then immediately had to mute the notifications as my phone blew up.
Must be a lot of people on there.
Have mercy on your phone there, Steve. Evening, TTR family. Hope everyone's good. Good luck, Jack, on your first time hosting TTR. Thank you for that, Spike. Evening, Mary. New Jersey Geordie, sorry. Evening, everyone. Who heard the news today? The Toon are coming to my backyard. I'll be planning a fan fest beforehand seeing you there. Now, we will get onto that later in the show, because there's some news on about Newcastle going to the US. Very exciting stuff. Hi, Mary and Julie J from Ian. George, yes, boys, is George. Cushy, good luck, Jack. Cheers, Cushy. Pilar Keith, evening all. John Green, hi, everyone. Evening, Clarkey. And then there's Steve again. James Matthews Photography, hi, everyone. Have a good show. Casual football things, you too. Whoever gets the most pissed up can get a crash on my couch, says New Jersey Geordie. Not sure what that's about. Hi, Jack and Billy, says Ian A. Hello, Ian A. Bear with me, guys. I'm on the laptop today. I'm not in my usual background, as you can see. I'm away in Whitby at the minute. I'll be back tomorrow though. But just bear with me, guys, because I'm on one of them. You know what I mean, Billy? One of them little pad things on my laptop.
Yeah.
Can you cheers, Jack? You and Billy, says Roger. Hi, Mary, says Julie. These bloody things on the laptop. Today, after hearing the "Welcome to Wrexham" song, I've been hearing "Bring on the Deadpool" and Rob McElhenney all day. We need a song for War Mandy. Well, it is a birthday today, Billy, isn't it? It is a birthday. So happy birthday to Amanda Staveley, the best co-owner in football history. Evening, Jack and Billy. Hope you both are well, says Mary. Cheers, Mary. Evening, Jack and Bill. A lot it rhymes. Indeed, it does. Evening, Jack and Billy, says Norvik. Apple. You're meant to be off. Sitting in that chat isn't off. Hi, John and Tom. Big lads. Right, should we bring on the rabble then, Billy? Should we bring them on?
Yeah, let's see what we've got in the background. I could see 2, 3, 4, 5 people.
So we've got Darren, we've got Andy, we've got Paul Sales, we've got Mason.
Hello, lads.
And then we've got hold on.
It's Dan.
And then we've got Dan. Right, how are we doing, lads?
Not too bad.
Not doing too bad. Oh, I need to get this chat sorted. Hi, Jack and Billy. You really need the same haircut as Paul and Billy. I do not. I'm keeping my I'm keeping my hair. There's no chance I'm going back to lockdown looks. I'll tell you that.
It'll come, Jack. It'll come. Patience is a virtue. It'll come in the next 30 years or so.
It's not going anytime soon. I'll tell you that, Billy. Casual football things. No.
Well, hit you one day.
It hasn't got me. I've got plenty of hair, and I'm over 50.
Well, you still come.
Yeah, but you flash your appendage on the screen, Paul. That's the difference.
And you don't.
Right.
Never.
Right. So we're gonna kick this fan forum off with a little bit of now. Me, Billy, and Paul and Alex have already talked about the Gordon incident, but I want to get you guys' thoughts on the Gordon incident as well. So we're gonna go to Paul. What are your thoughts on the Gordon incident that took place on Saturday against Brentford?
I don't really read much into it. Really, he's a young lad. He got upset because he got took off because he had just been subbed on and he got subbed off. But I wouldn't read too much into it. It's just the skip rats. Just putting that shit in like usual. Just give the lad a chance. He's got to come good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mason, what are your thoughts on the Gordon incident?
Was a little bit disappointing because I thought this would have given him a chance coming up to Newcastle from Everton, but I was just a little bit disappointed. But to be honest, when I seen that he's Eddie Howe Matt Ritchie said stuff, then just to comment down, and I seen like he's forget it. I thought he's understand now that he's learned his lesson about what he did when he came off, and it's disappointing, but he'll learn because he's still a young kid. Because he's like 22, he's still that age where he's kind of a young kid, but he'll learn. And I'm just a little bit disappointed, but I'm seeing I'm happy that he's got over it, to be honest.
Yeah, I've been seeing fans on social media going about needs to be dropped for Saturday. Darren, do you think Dan? Sorry, do you think he should be dropped for Saturday after what he did?
No, I think it just shows his passion of it. I mean, you're going to be angry if you've been subbed on, and taken off. But end of the day, he probably shouldn't have done what he did towards Eddie, but he'll learn from it. I'm sure they're all friends. It just shows his passion. He wants to be on pitch, doesn't he, at the end of the day? So don't read too much into it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like some of the fans are getting a bit carried away on social media. I don't think he should be dropped. Like Mason said, he's young, and he's up and coming, and he's going to be fiery, trying to get on the pitch. He's going to be fiery, and he's going to be battling to get onto the pitch.
I think he starts next Saturday. If I'm perfectly honest, I think it's a perfect pep talk for him to start next Saturday.
Yeah, Joy Hawaii man says, Annie, was it you throwing the eggs at the Borough fans?
I can't say for legal reasons.
Can neither confirm or deny.
I can either confirm or deny. No, it wasn't me. No, it was quite funny though because the Borough fans did take it in jest, so that was good of them.
What was that, Billy?
It was a fucking meal for them. They were fucking chuffed to bits with it, especially Easter.
Alric All says Reese. How are the lads? Good evening, everyone. Says Carlton. Evening, Ian. Hope you're well. Fez saying, don't forget to join our revamped Discord server, lads and lasses. So make sure click that link. Join the Discord. Gordon is much Ado about nothing. He played well on Saturday. I thought he played good as well. I think it's not just about him trying to get goals. I think it's also about him working hard for the team, working hard off the ball, tackling. Do you see it like that, Darren?
Yeah, I say I played football when I was younger. I hate getting subbed off no matter what I was said. However, I'm the joke. Should have kept us on. And it's just people it gives chance to people just to win or didn't make a sly comment over nothing. I wasn't disappointed. That just shows passion. Yes, he's probably learned from the mistake what he's done now. You know, but it's over now. Really, I know that. As I said, I wasn't disappointed. To me, it was passion. When I played football, if I got subbed off, I was never happy. I was like through what I was doing. If I got subbed, I was never wanted to get taken off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's what they're paid to do.
Yeah, exactly.
They're paid to play football, and that's why they've gone through the whole. Like Gordon went through the whole Everton academy. He's gone through that to play football and to be on the pitch. And if they're not on the pitch, then they feel a bit useless. They feel a bit, well, why am I here? I'm meant to come here to play first team football. So he's there to play football. So it's not going to feel great being subbed off, and especially being subbed on at half time as well, and then just getting subbed straight off. I know there was like 20 seconds left, but he still wants to be on the pitch. So it just shows passion, and exactly what Bath North East says. It's called passion. No one wants to come off. 100% Bath.
I think you start on Saturday, me like Anthony going out.
Yeah, I do.
He's definitely pushing for a start. That's for sure. He's definitely pushing for a start.
Murphy done that on Saturday, didn't he? He looked lost on there. Saturday, Murphy,
yeah. I said he looked kind of back to his old self, which is not what we want.
He's played 3 games in 6 days. I mean, it's something he's not used to. Murphy's lucky he played 3 games a season, but past couple of years. So a bit of fitness issues maybe. But Gordon is definitely pushing for a start, and he does all the work Murphy does defensively, and he can do the press too. So I don't see why they don't put him in, to be honest.
Spacebar, exactly what we're saying here. Watch the lad get a start on Saturday. We'll have to wait and see what Eddie Howe says in the presser, but he could be in for a shout, that's for sure. Evening, lads. How you all keeping? Says Lee. I'm doing great, Lee. Troll says here, what Gordon did wasn't passion, but but that doesn't mean he should be slated for it. Hope he has learned and don't do it again, says Trolls. Yeah, of course it's passion, but it's not. You do see that often with players coming off the pitch. They kick a water bottle. They argue with the manager. It just shows that. I think it is passion. Do you guys think it's passion? I mean, a lot of you have said it's passion. I think it's passion as well. Roger says that a young man petulance, subbed annoying for any player unless injury. Yeah, like I just said, you don't want to get subbed, do you? You don't want to get subbed.
You just want to play it.
But then
you just want to play it.
You do. It's just what you paid for. It's just what you paid for.
And he's come to Newcastle. You want to play out the game because you want to prove a point to the fan as well. So
yeah,
you want like say, but he said you want to get a start. You want to play up and start. He'll get his chance. Everybody knows he will. It's just when. On the first half against Brentford, you could tell we didn't turn up first half, and the changes did work. So Eddie Howe was here. It might be time to change it now. You might know that.
I mean, it's the Premier League. Every player wants to be playing in the Premier League. I mean, most players on the interview say, look, biggest league in the world, best league in the world. This is every kid's dream. Mm-hmm. How are we doing, everyone? Thanks for setting up the new Discord. It's a mint idea, said Louis. Can someone post a Discord link, please? I think Fez has. So if you want to go back up to Fez's comment, it should be there. It's good that Gordon has passion. He's a fighter. He certainly is. We've seen that in past games, haven't we? What's happened to that comment? There it is. Gordon was never going to change overnight. Eddie and the team will help him out. Thoughts on that comment, Billy?
Well, listen, he was when he was at Everton, he was petulant every week on the pitch. He's come to Newcastle United. It's been frustrating for him. Not had one start since he came here, so he's going to be frustrated. He's going to have the red mist is going to descend quickly because he's got that in him, and it had descended before he got subbed off because he made them 2 pretty ropey tackles on Rico Henry just before he come off. So, yeah, he's a young kid. Like people are saying, he's going to mature a bit while he's here. He's already matured a little bit. I think we've all seen that. We haven't seen the petulance from him until last week. the kid needs a start, and I think you're going to get one Saturday. I really do, and I think he'll go at Villa all guns blazing because they're a bit susceptible to pace down the flanks. They are Villa for certain.
I mean, when you get an option to start and when you get a chance to start, that's an opportunity to prove to the manager that you should be in that starting 11 every single week. And if Gordon does get a chance, that's his chance. And if he blows it, he blows it. But if he does good, he does good. And then he starts the next game. Mason, this is a question. So with the Brentford match last Saturday, what were your thoughts on the first half? Because I know many Newcastle fans have thoughts on the first half. I want to get your thoughts on the first half against Brentford.
To be honest, I was a little bit disappointed because we let some parts of that game, we let Brentford dominated, and then they got the chances, and then obviously they had the goal ruled out for offside, which to me was, and then they got the first penalty, which it was a penalty, and then the second penalty, I don't know what Rico Henry was doing, but I mean, soft decision by VAR and the match officials on the day, and we went in half time 1-0, and then we were a different team second half. I mean, we got the goals by Joe Linton, obviously got deflected off Raya, and I mean, Isaac came on, just basically was outstanding again and got the goal, and obviously I don't know how it wasn't 3-1 because the VAR and the refs messed up again. Like, I shouldn't say the ref, but the VAR messed up again. I don't know how that was ruled offside, but at least we weren't the downfall of being evicted by being downfall by VAR at the weekend.
Annie, as an outsider, with your team being in the Championship with Bristol City, as they've got no
okay, thank you. Yep, go on.
as they've got no VAR in the Championship, what were your thoughts on the VAR incident last Saturday with the second penalty?
Yeah, it's a weird one because it was one of those where straight away you look at it and go, "Oh, you're a bit in trouble there." But as the slow motion goes, you look, "Are you sure that's a penalty?" I don't think it was the right call. I don't think it was a penalty. I'm not really sure what. Who was it? Who was the defender? And that's
Henry.
It was Isak. It was Isak who went to clear the ball and Rico Henry put his head in.
I'm not really sure what. I'm not sure what Isak's meant to do there. Like, he's going for the ball.
Did you listen to the rest watch on Sky yesterday? David Gallagher said they were looking for a reason just not to give the penalty. They overlooked it. That's what he said.
They looked at the replays like 20 times. They were guaranteed to give it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was not a good call. Also on that day, it was Brighton Spurs as well, so that kind of added fuel to the flames, really, in terms of backlash against VAR. In the Championship, to be honest, I hope VAR's there because some of the calls we get week in, week out is absolutely it's mind-boggling sometimes.
You're not like it, mate. Honestly, when it comes, you'll regret saying that.
If we're denied
definitely.
if we're at the moment, I'd say the ratios of penalties we get to not get in terms of we should be getting is like 1 to 5. If that improves, I'm fine with VAR being there. And honestly, I believe the right number of right calls that have been made in the Premier League have improved. Even if it's frustrated fans, I think it has improved slightly. Even if it's slightly, I think it's improved. So really, it's frustrating for a fan, but it has the decisions before VAR and after VAR have improved. So
the problem is, Andy, you're doubling the chance of getting a wrong decision, though, because instead of halving it, you've got shit referees on the pitch, and you've got the same shit referees in behind the cameras. So what you need is either ex-referees that were good, or someone neutral that's not involved with refereeing, or maybe ex-players, whatever. You've got to have someone different in the VAR for it to work, in my opinion.
I think
it's not going to get no better until they get rid of the rubbish.
VAR in terms of infrastructure is perfect. It's exactly what football needs. But the people running it, I agree, it's awful. It's absolutely awful.
But the people who's doing the VARs never play football, though. And that's why you need a ex-professional to be with them and explain like their side of the story. Like the Brighton situation, they should the penalty all day long. 2 penalties should have had, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
Possibly 3.
Yeah. It's just how it would have been no worse getting a phone call. Sorry, we're fucked up. However, man, that's where it needs to be massive fixed.
That's it. Piss off, cartel.
I can get it on the screen. We've got a £5 super chat from Ian Fleming. If I can get it on the screen. He says, "Doing a great job, Jack. You were talking over Paul permanently, lol." There you go. There it's on there. Doing a great job, Jack. Are you talking over from Paul permanently, lol? Sophia says, "My friend has known Anthony Gordon since they were kids. She says he's got a heart of gold, but he's always been a bit cocky. Just needs guidance." Billy, you were mentioning at Everton, he was cocky, wasn't he?
Yeah, petulant every week. You know, the amount of fights and punch-ups he got involved with on the pitch. We saw it at St James's Park, didn't we? It was every week. So for him to come like 3 months or whatever it's been 2 months since he signed for us, to not go through that until Saturday is an improvement in itself, isn't it? Obviously, he's at a settled club now. He's got a better manager behind him, better players with him. But it's frustrating for him not being able to get on the pitch week in, week out from the start. And I think that little kick up the arse you got last Saturday afternoon might just be the catalyst for him to start next week. I really do. And I think he'll come out because, like I said before, I think he's got a bit between his teeth now. Get him on the pitch. Let's get him in the penalty area. Let's get him scoring goals. Let's get him creating goals. That's what we brought him for.
Yeah. Evening, Rowley. How you doing?
Great. Really good, thank you.
What were your thoughts on the Brentford match on Saturday? What were your thoughts?
It was the classic game of 2 halves. I thought that we were sloppy. We didn't play well, and that's partly because Brentford were all over us. We were unlucky with one of the penalties in the first half, but there's a masterstroke to make the changes at half time. We were so much better in the second half. Still don't understand why Wilson's goal was disallowed. Right, it came off his arm, but it didn't lead directly to a goal, which would have caused it to be disallowed. It came off the Brentford player. If the Brentford player's not there, Wilson hasn't got a chance of getting the ball or getting the shot in. So it's come off the Brentford player, so it should have counted. You never mind where it hit Wilson. It came off the Brentford player, so it didn't lead directly to the goal. I thought Isak his goal was superb. I thought Gordon was okay, apart from his the incident of the substitution. Not a good look, but as long as it's not a pattern, it's just a one-off. I can let that slide. You've got to remember that he's been at that toxic club since he was 8. At Everton, and Eddie and Mad Dog are going to have to coach the crap that they taught him at Goodison out of him. It will take time, but he'll get there. And I think he'll be a good player for us for years to come.
Simon says there was a Tony offside and 2 penalty decisions, all checked by VAR, and the first half took ages. Yet the referee only added 3 minutes. How did that work out? Dan, thoughts on that?
At the time, I was screaming at the TV, but having time to reflect on it, I think it was kind of a good thing that they only had 3 minutes on, because it allowed us to get in at half time, come back out and reset.
Yeah.
Because if it had gone on for another 6-7 minutes, who knows? Brentford could have got a second. But just a quick one going back to the Gordon thing as well. You've got to remember how much shit he went through towards the end of his tenure with Everton. All fans surrounding his car and just giving him shite toward most of the end of his games. He's going to want to prove. He's going to want to prove to everyone, especially them, that he's worth the price tag and what a good player he can be. And I think he will. He's just itching to hit the ground running, and hopefully he'll get a chance to do that now.
Just quickly, guys, if you want to come on to the fan forum, make sure to click that link in the chat. If you want to come on and talk about Newcastle United, click that link and I'll pop you on. So make sure get guys on. There's plenty of space left, so get on. Oh, where's that comment go? There it is. Do the VAR operators know what they are doing either? That they need to go to Specsavers big time. I think you're right there, Andrew. They do need to go to Specsavers.
Yeah, they're the same referees that make the mistakes on the pitch, they're making it off the pitch as well. It's just, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like VAR making one decision, the referee on the pitch is making another, and they can't decide. So they go, "Oh, we're VAR, we can see the camera, so we'll just give the decision."
I think part of the problem with VAR, obviously, is the people that are using it. But the other problem is that the referees seem to go over with the mindset that I've made a mistake. I'm going to have to change it, rather than thinking, actually, I've made the right decision. VAR needs to prove to me that I've got it wrong. It's just, because you only see it occasionally where they stick with their on-field decision. And it's supposed to be clear and obvious. If you take 3 minutes on a penalty and you have to look at it 20 times, it's obviously not clear and obvious.
I mean, Kavanagh had a better view of that incident on Saturday than what the VAR gave him. So what?
It was like 9 yards away, wasn't it?
So why is he changing his mind? Because he's gone over, because he's been called over to have another look at it. He's gone over thinking, I've made a mistake, I need to change it, rather than thinking, actually.
I think the trouble you got, every referee gets called, say, "Oh, you mean we can't have them on her?" Or so as soon as they're getting called them on her, they're already there down themselves, and they think they've made an error. Do you know what I mean? That's the trouble you've got.
We need to hear what they're saying. We need to hear the communication between the two of them. Because if they're saying, "Oh, you fucked up big time there," go there and then change it. We need to know that, don't we? They should be saying that.
But till you get a professional player in the VR with the referee who knows the game a little bit more, but the physical side of it, when the referees are doing the right thing by the rule book, but they're not understanding the logic of the football match.
I mean, the other thing, I hate to look at rugby as well, but in rugby, when they're checking a try, the referee will tell the VAR official, I'm going to give a try. Can you show me any reason why I shouldn't give it?
Yeah.
Now, if you go with that attitude, like I'm not giving a penalty, show me a reason why I should. And you can't just show him 2 or 3 angles. You've got to show him all of them. You've got to see his perspective as well, because half the problem with the VAR officials when they go to the ref, they'll only show him 1 or 2 angles, which fit with what they want him to do. I mean, it's like the game against Crystal Palace when we had that goal disallowed for a foul on the keeper. They didn't show the ref that it was pushed into the keeper.
No.
Yeah.
We've got £5 super chat from Geordie Boy. Doing a great job, Jack. Cheers, Geordie Boy. It means a lot, that. 1-0 City, apparently, is a great goal. You watching it tonight, Billy? You watching it?
I'm not. No, I've got no interest in Champions League until next season.
No, we'll be on there. Don't you worry. If it's only clear and obvious, why should the ref be even going to the screen? Makes no sense, as abs. VAR, very average refs.
Corrupt.
It's not just the referees either. It's the lawmakers of the game. They're ruining the game as well. Roll was referring to the Wilson disallowed goal. It's different laws for the attackers and defenders in the penalty box. A defender can
the letter of the law. To score the goal, so it has. Let alone has. So they're all done the right thing.
A defender's allowed to have the ball here, an attacker isn't.
Yeah.
As soon as the attacker touches it becomes a handball. Ridiculous way they're making the laws.
Exactly. I understand. But to the letter of the law, it's doing it right. Because you look at the Brighton game, they had the same thing at the end, didn't it?
Yeah.
So it's
didn't touch his hand.
Yeah.
Didn't touch his hand, no, touch his hip.
It almost feels like the rule is different if you're in the penalty box and you're the attacking team.
Well, it is. It is.
It's bizarre because yesterday I was watching I think it was Burnley Sheffield United, and it was very obvious the defender was just guarding the ball. The attacker was going in. He fouled him. The defender did the exact same thing in the penalty box, and it wasn't a foul. I'm like, how that is completely double standards, and the referee's not giving it. The same thing in the Premier League. Exact same thing in the Premier League. It's not given just because it's the penalty box. So why is that changed?
That's why you don't want form, mate.
It seems to be that with shirt pulls, because it's shirt pull. If you're the attacker, they give they give the free kick against you. But if you're a defender pulling your shirt, nothing. In the Brighton game, that the defender had I forget whose shirt it was, but it reminded me when I was at nursery school when you used to play horses when you grabbed someone's shirt with both hands and right. It was just ridiculous.
You've got some memory, Rolly. Fucking hell.
Yeah. I'm surprised I remember it. Yeah, it is some memory because primary school was years ago.
How many times have we not had penalties for shirt pulls with Longstaff against Wolves? Shares last week. You know, it's ridiculous. We're getting screwed over week in, week out.
I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but the way the VAR is working, especially of late, it makes you wonder whether they're just trying to help the traditional big six stay that way. It's not going to work, but it just seems to be that if it's a Tottenham, if it's a Liverpool, if it's a Manchester United, it's applied differently.
It's the bias to the big six, what we all call it, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're like Spurs, Man United. All the decisions go to them because they're the big six, and they don't want the likes of Newcastle, Brentford, Brighton pushing for Europe because it ruins the reputation of the Premier League in their eyes. But for me, I'm not just saying this because I'm a Newcastle fan. I feel like it's brilliant for the Premier League. These little clubs, so-called little clubs, pushing up the Premier League to fight for Europe. I think it's absolutely brilliant. What's happening for the Premier League? I feel like they're just trying to ruin it. But yet again, VAR can't destroy Newcastle because we're too good for them. We're just picking up points and keep picking up goals. I mean, they tried to get us a point at Brentford last week, so it just goes to show that we're too good for VAR, so they can't destroy us. Steve says Howard Webb has said the bar should be high for VAR intervention. So in theory, the ref should only be called over if he has definitely made the wrong decision. Mason, what are your thoughts on that one? It's getting a bit ridiculous, isn't it, Mason? How Howard Webb is always saying sorry to these clubs when a really bad decision goes their way. It's just a word, isn't it? Sorry. It's sorry every single week now. Do you think actions should be taken now?
Yes, it's not good. It's not going out good enough going out saying all the time, or we're sorry for what you've done. No, it's not. Basically, yeah, it's costing clubs points. Obviously, it cost Brighton points because basically, if they had them few penalties, they would have won that game like 4-5-2 because Spurs weren't up for it, and obviously, I don't understand why the referee didn't give that penalty on what's his name again? Oh, the Japanese player. Mitoma. I mean, it was a definite. It looked like he was going to break his ankle, and that should have been a penalty all day long. And I don't know how they didn't give it. I mean, it just doesn't understand me. And good job and fair play to whoever's like Howard Webb because the guy on VAR and the referee Tottenham have been not being allowed with the fingers. He'll be back after this weekend. But I don't understand why the referee at our game on Saturday and the VAR did not like a ban from this weekend because it just doesn't understand because them who clearly shouldn't be refereeing this weekend because them who made clear and obvious errors. So luckily enough, the guys who did the Tottenham game have been like not allowed to referee games this weekend.
I mean, Howard Webb owes us an apology in himself for the referee decisions he made when he was a ref.
Billy, he seems to be owing everyone an apology at the minute.
Well, when he was refereeing himself, when he disallowed a goal that Martin Viduka scored against Fulham years ago, and had he allowed it, we would have been relegated. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely pathetic decision.
According to Dan, Brian, you seem to be Stato's brother.
And Davin, yeah.
I think it's the beard.
Dan's Alex's brother?
No, I think that I don't. No.
I've got to say, you do. I'm really bad. Wow, I'm sorry. Alex is you do look a bit like Alex, to be fair. No one operating VAR should have any connection with the referees associating PG Mall. Everyone's just saying 1-0 City. The worst one was Rashford offside, and they gave it. I think that was the Manchester Derby one.
Yeah, not interfering with play. Absolute bollocks.
That was offside. You couldn't get any more offside for that. Honestly, you couldn't.
One of the worst ones was Goofy Fernandez kicking Shah in the head.
Yeah,
They got nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
They're probably thinking Man United's getting smoked at this point. Let's just not make it embarrassing. Let's just not make it any worse for dear Manchester United. Geordie Howe, man, the holding a player at corner kicks is now becoming norm again. Thoughts on that, Billy?
Yeah, well, they go through phases, don't they, where they have these little edicts where you've got to watch out for this. 2018 World Cup, it was a big one, wasn't it? We got penalties for it in 2 or 3 games. Then it kind of fades into insignificance again and something else takes over. Yeah, it's a foul every week and they don't give it. Madness.
Make sure, guys, to subscribe as well to the Toon Review. We are on the road now to 19,000, and then we keep going to 20,000. And it's all on you guys. All your support will make that happen. So make sure to click the subscribe button. If you want to donate as well, there should be a $sign just in the live chat below. When I click that, it will really help the channel out, of course. And it's also a guarantee chat will get read out. So thank you guys for your support as always, and it really does mean a lot. Inconsistencies all over the rules on VAR from one game to the next. This laptop, I'm having trouble with this laptop. Jack, well done, kids, says Scott. Thank you, Scott. Now, one thing I do want to talk about, guys, is João Pedro. Now, we've been linked to João Pedro this week. Is it this week? I want to come to Rowley. What are your thoughts on João Pedro? Now, I know we had some history with João Pedro last summer with the famous Fabrizio Romano. Here we go. It never happened. What are your thoughts on João Pedro, Rowley?
My first thoughts are if Eddie wanted him and we're trying to get the deal done, that's good enough for me. I think that João Pedro, that one went away when we got Isak, because I think the Isak deal happened quite quickly, from what I understand. So I think they're still being quite careful of how they spend, because they don't want to sort of like front load all the spending so we get into the situation Everton were in or are in, where they can't spend any money. But if he's available again at the right price, I'd be quite happy for him to come. And we do seem to have a habit of going back for players we've been in for the previous window and not got. So I'd be quite happy to see him come.
But I feel like if the João Pedro deal went through, I don't think we ever would have got Isak. You think, Billy? I don't think we would have got Isak.
Well, he was after a wide forward type player, but then Wilson got injured, so the urgency was to get a striker, a centre forward. So that's where Isak came in. And gladly he did too.
Yeah.
Devin says, "Oh, go on, Roller."
I think Isak was one that they wanted, but they didn't think they were able to get. They thought he was going to cost too much, and obviously they were. I think as Billy said, when the Wilson got injured, the urgency was there, so they went back in, and they found that the price was more to their liking, so they paid it.
I think it was about 30 million, was it, for João Pedro?
Yeah,
and he's the man. And he's the man to ask about Pedro. He's seen much more than we have.
Thoughts on Pedro, Annie? Thoughts on Pedro?
I watched him in the flesh actually this season. He came on against us. He was okay. He's clearly a player that's inconsistent. He's got something about him that just stood out instantly. Really, I think we call it the Brazilian flair. I think it's called.
Yeah.
He has got that about him. He looked a cut above the rest, the Watford players at least. He's a weird one because Watford this season have been a basket case and have been a mess. So I can't really judge him based off the season he's had. But if we are to do that, then it would be quite disappointing because if he's a £30 million player, then he should be putting up numbers unknown to the Championship, really. So, look, yeah, I think it'd be a very good signing, especially at the age he's at, and the fact that he has got quality about him and he's got that flair. But I would be patient if Newcastle were to sign him because he's kind of a player. He feels like a player who needs time to bed into his environment, and I'm sure Eddie Howe would be willing to give him that time. So yeah, I think it'd be a good signing. Just give him patience, like I'd give Anthony Gordon time as well. Just give him time, and he will come good if you do sign him.
But Darren, about João Pedro, if we do get Champions League, do you think I don't think João Pedro will go to us because I don't think he's just Champions League quality yet. Do you think we'll get João Pedro if we get Champions League football next season?
It's a tricky one. Like his youth, he'll be hungry. So I'll get João Pedro and I'll get rid of ASM because we need some good hungry players who will bust the gut. ASM, I'm not a fan of ASM, but he's more attacking.
You don't say.
I can never forget that Alex was honestly.
ASM got a funny injury again. I don't know how he must have the weirdest hamstring out of everybody who are now. Do you know what I mean? Especially the week. Oh, hamstring pull. And he's on the Instagram run about. He's sad now.
Yeah, we could have some serious disagreements over ASM.
I'm getting word now. Sato has woken up from his nap and he's on his way now. I'm just kidding.
Kind of done the tea around with ASM.
That famous argument between Darren and Alex about Maxi was honestly superb.
We didn't miss him Saturday. We missed him Saturday, didn't we?
No, I don't think we did. I think he changed. I think he got his tactics right. He's just. I know the player said, "Oh, Eddie Howe didn't say anything," but I think he did. I think he bollocked them. And I
think first half of the ASM in the side, I think we'd have been much further up the pitch and we'd look far better for it.
I think we'll be getting beat.
Dan, you haven't got the XG to look like Alex yet, says Bath. You haven't got the XG.
Some people aren't.
John says, at the moment, if we ban the refs for making mistakes, there will be no games. Elbow cough. Alan says, enough VAR when we get into Brexit, Jack. 100%, Alan.
We're doing our best to get to Europe this year, not out of it.
But then we say, Billy?
We're doing our best to get into Europe this year, not get out of it.
I think if we were going to go to conference, we'd have to have a massive drop off. I can't see us go to conference now. I'm feeling by every game, more 3 points we get, I'm feeling more and more confident about Champions League football. But about the points, last week was superb. 3 points versus Manchester United, 3 points against West Ham, 3 points against Brentford. Honestly, that was 9 points from 3 games. That was superb, wasn't it?
Yeah, you couldn't have asked for more. I think out of all the 3 games, the one I was most worried about was West Ham away because it's been a bit of a bogey team over years. I was confident against United. I just knew we were going to just get revenge for cup final, even if it was that. Because as like I've said previously, we didn't actually play bad in the final. We just couldn't create out. But no, you couldn't have asked for more really. 9 points from these 3 games. If we can go to Villa and get something from that, even better. But it's definitely going to be European football next season.
Yeah.
Just depends which, really. But we should be 6 points in front of Tottenham because the VAR decisions in that game were disgusting. We should be 6 points in front of them.
Yeah. Mason, we are travelling to the park on Saturday lunchtime, 12:30 kickoff. What are your thoughts going into the Villa match? Because Unai Emery's got them playing brilliant football. What are your thoughts going into that match?
It'll be a tough game, but I'll be happy if we go into the game and win the game because Villa are a different side since we last played because they just lost Gerrard. But Emery's went in and just changed things around and got obviously got the one player in. He wants players who he wants to play for him. He got players out of the door who he didn't want, and I think since January, obviously they're saying Marino who he's settling in, but I think he's been decent. But since he's came in, they've been a decent side. And I've said he's let players go who not in his plans. Two of them up here as well with Boab, and it'll be a tough game on Saturday. I'll be happy with a win, but I won't be surprised if it's a draw on Saturday, because with the way Villa are playing at the moment,
We Header. Am I saying that right, Billy? Is it We Header?
Yeah.
We Header. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, g'day. I'm having problems with my camera, I think, this morning, Jack, but can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. How you doing then? What are your thoughts going into the Villa match?
Oh, great. Well, I'm just on my way out to work, but I just wanted to say welcome to the channel, Jack. It's been a really good morning. What an amazing week we've had with those 3 games. I am absolutely buzzing. Villa, you're right, isn't the team it used to be. They haven't played anybody decent in a while, and we're gonna mop them up and carry on moving forward. Away the Toon.
That's what I love to hear. Would-be Farmer, how you doing, mate?
Hey, doing well. Checking in all the way from sunny New Mexico.
New Mexico. What's it like? If I've got my geography right, it's gonna be pretty sunny over there.
Yeah, we get a lot of ultraviolet light here. We're about 6,000 feet elevation, so there's not a whole lot of ozone here, if you catch my drift.
What are your thoughts going into the Villa match on Saturday? Are you confident? Are you nervous?
Man, I am a bit nervous, but you might be talking to the wrong guy. I wasn't too sure we were going to get 7 points on the last 3 games. And once we got 3 with Man United against Man United, and I saw a performance that was indicative of 5-0, I was like, well, maybe this is why I'm not a professional gambler. Don't ask me. So, or maybe the alternative would be ask me and do exactly the opposite. So I'm going to go ahead and predict an embarrassing 2-0 loss, and that should give us 3 points.
A 2-0 loss.
That's my prediction.
He's doing it on purpose. It's what's known as reverse psychology.
Exactly, Billy.
Have a 2-0 loss. I could not. Barry says, would you not want Europa League over Champions League? Honestly, I feel our squad is that paper thin. Champions League, even with signings in the summer, will be too much and could affect the league. Thing is, though, Barry, if we do qualify for Champions League, we'll get a huge influx of prize money going in for qualifying into the Champions League, and on top of the money we've already got, Annie with a little money sign there. But Billy, of course, we want Champions League, and no matter what, we do get a lot of prize money going into the Champions League.
Yeah, not just that. You get yourself into the Europa League, you can get yourself in 3rd place in the group stage. So you can actually get both if you play your cards right. Not that you want to qualify and go as far as you can, but you've got a little bit of a safety net just in case. So no, Champions League for me all the way.
Devin says, go roll it.
So I was going to say the thing about it, if you've got the chance to qualify the Champions League, why would you say, "Oh, I'm not going to take that"? Yeah, go for it, because if you're good enough, you qualify. You don't say, "Oh, I don't want to qualify because it's not time." If you're good enough and you qualify, it is time. Like the squad needs to be strengthened, but it will be. And if we qualify for the Champions League, it'll be strengthened with a bit better quality player than if we qualify for Europa.
Yeah, 100% Rolly. Just need to. Devin says, can't believe Manuel want 50 million for McTominay. That's insane. We Header, what are your thoughts on the 50 million for McTominay? That's quite much, isn't it?
Nah, we're the richest club in the world. We can have 4 of them if we want to.
Fucking hell, I don't want one of them.
I think that's a bit much for McTominay, don't you think?
I'm just trying to piss Sunderland off. That's all.
Hold on. Lee says that Villa have been lucky with 2 crazy errors by other teams. I mean, when Villa played Forest, when they played Forest last game, that Shelby, what happened to Shelby there? He got the ball and just put it into Traore's feet. That was shocking, wasn't it, Billy? From our former Newcastle fan,
awful, absolutely awful.
It was.
Right.
How are the lads?
Billy says that with a massive grin on his face.
Villa have been picking up
I am so glad we got rid of Shelby this year. Like, so glad.
No, but I don't think we can judge Villa off Forest at home. I mean, Forest are dismal. Like,
I think Villa will be a hard game on Saturday, lads. I really do. We hammered up the for the revenge. I do think it'll be a hard game.
Would be Farmer, can you turn your volume down, please? Hello, Would be Farmer.
I'm sorry, say again?
Can you turn your YouTube volume down, please?
Oh, I didn't even know it was on. Let me get out and I'll come back in. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. We'll come back in a second.
Hey Jack. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to go to work in a few minutes, but I just wanted all you guys to know that it's 100 days to go for the start of the women's, the FIFA Women's World Cup here in New Zealand, and we'll be going to a few of the Lionesses games, and I might jump on and let you know how the Women's World Cup's going from time to time. So have a great day, lads, and all the best, and how are the Toon?
Don't work too hard, we header. Don't work too hard, pal.
Way new.
Thanks for coming on, we header. See you later.
Champion. Well done, Jack.
Thank you. Cheers. Now we're also going to talk about now Newcastle United women's team are back at St James's Park on Sunday. Darren, hoping for a big result. Are you going to the game?
I'm not, mate. No, son is my chill out day. It's like me Thursday. I'm glad the lads are doing good. It just doesn't appeal for me to go out and watch it. You know, like I'm happy just chilling watching Sky Sports football. To be fair, on Sunday.
Yeah, they are doing good though, aren't they, Mason? The Newcastle women's team. What are your thoughts on them at the minute? Hoping for a big result.
I think they're doing okay. I tend to look out for the results, and yes, they had a disappointing result at all, but I think they've done well this season. Like, I went to the game, the last one in November. They were decent, and hopefully they'll do well against Brentford City on Sunday.
Yeah, hoping for a big result as well. Hopefully they could get promoted as well, getting closer and closer to that, the Women's Super League. Brian says, moving up the world, you got Jesus on. He's joking, he says. Norvik, we have to expect that every trick in the book will be thrown at us until the end of the season. It will, won't it, Billy? It will.
Yeah, well, we've had it all season so far, so no reason why it's not going to change. What the Premier League want and the Big Six clearly want is those 6 clubs to be in the top 6. They'll do whatever they can to keep it that way. And, you know, trying to take VAR out of the equation, it's not going to be possible each week. So we've got to be ready for whatever's thrown at us, and I think we will. I think we've got this far so far without, being kind of too heavily penalised by a bad refereeing. We've got through the ones we have had against us, and come out the other side. So yeah, they can try as much as they want. They ain't going to succeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. She's come out and she wants to have a little dance for everyone tonight. So get your emojis rolling. She's back. Oh, don't you just love her, Ray? Don't you just love Daisy on a Tuesday night? Don't you just love her? There's James with all the cow emojis coming in. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. I just felt so privileged then clicking on Daisy You just feel so, Billy. When you get to do it, don't you feel so privileged? Don't you, Billy? You just feel so privileged.
She was originally mine in the first place, so yeah, I guess so.
Well, she's behind you, isn't she, Billy? She's right behind you.
I'll be having a daisy sandwich later, and I don't mean that in a dirty sense either.
For God's sake, Billy.
One day in the year won't hurt.
Bit of horseradish, all good.
Oh God! Now, some Newcastle news has broke today, saying that Newcastle are going to the US in the summer to take on is it the Premier League series? I don't. And let me just try and get it up just to make sure I'm saying it right. So the summer series in the Premier League from July 22nd to the 30th, 6 clubs, 5 cities, and 9 matches. Now that is going to be big. I think that the teams are here. So they got Aston Villa, Brentford, Brighton, Chelsea, and Fulham, and obviously the 2 Newcastle United. On Rowley, what are your thoughts going into that? It's good to have Newcastle part of something big this summer, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's good to be out in the US. It doesn't really matter who we play. It could have been local US clubs because at that point it's all about getting the players fit again for the new season. So it's increasing our profile over in the US, which is a good thing. But the football itself is inconsequential. It's not important. But yeah, I mean, I'm presuming there'll be a fair bit of money involved in it as well. So yeah.
It's also building a big global brand for Newcastle, isn't it, Darren?
It's exposure in the US, yeah.
Getting everyone around the world involved in Newcastle United, not just the likes of Saudi Arabia, UK. It's about getting everyone involved in Newcastle United and building the brand, isn't it, Darren?
Yeah, totally, mate. Like it's a money game now with the football, and it was always going to happen going to the US and getting fans and everybody's watching Newcastle now. So it's good for the club. It's good for the popularity of the club. So they've just been Man U, the Arsenal's and Liverpool going across there. It's good to get like Newcastle involved now, and then like say the Brightons and all that as well. You know, I mean, it's good for the other teams to get involved as well because I think next season it's going to be a hell of a season. Next season, everybody was going to contest for that top 4. Get it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Julie J says, while Man U in USA, Bruno Fernandes can audition for a part in the Gremlins remake. Is Bruno Fernandes with us tonight, Billy? Is he with us?
I don't know if he's or not. Hang on, let's see.
Is he?
We'll have a look.
Getting word now. I think he's coming to the advertising board. He's gone for a sec. We may catch up with Bruno Fernandes in a little while, and I'll bring him on if he is here. Here's Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes. Thoughts on the season going so far? You got Forest this weekend. What are your thoughts going to the Forest game?
We beat Forest, no problem. No problem whatsoever. Referee, give us 3 penalties.
Thoughts on getting smashed by Newcastle United, and thoughts on getting smashed by the Toon. I'm pretty sure you didn't like that one, did you?
My memory not so good. Memory no good. Very poor referee.
Very poor refereeing. We know you like to. We know you're a little crybaby, Bruno Fernandes. What are your thoughts on the refereeing so far in the Premier League? We know you were moaning about Michael Oliver. What were your thoughts on Michael Oliver's little game against Everton?
I thought he was awful. He didn't give us no penalties. No red card for Everton. Very poor.
And that was Bruno Fernandes. Thank you, Bruno Fernandes. Thank you so much. Glad to have you back on the Toon review. Majority View says that the game versus Chelsea is at Almiron's old club's ground, so the locals will likely be supporting us. Isn't that the Atalanta ground, I believe? The Atalanta ground, which is where we bought it from. Ronald Turnbull, happy birthday to Amanda the Queen. Yep, happy birthday to her, the Queen herself, Amanda Stavely. Hope she's had. It's the end of the day, isn't it, everyone? Had a brilliant day. Spaceball says he can star in Gerbils 2, the movie. I should have asked him that, Billy, shouldn't I?
I think he's gone now. Yeah, he's gone now.
Oh, he's gone now. He's gone to train with Manchester Manuel. Ewan said, I can't wait to see the Toon in the USA. Can finally go and watch them live. I wish 9 hours away, the USA, isn't it? 9 hours.
there's a possibility they might not be. We might not be going because there might be a European qualification kind of thing first. Champions League qualification starts really early, doesn't it? So it's not official yet. I wouldn't have said.
Yeah.
Well, it will be when we finish third.
Oh, finish third. We're laughing, yeah.
Bar says, "Don't give him water." Is that Dracula? I think he was calling you Dracula there.
No, it's the Gremlin.
What'd you say, Rolly?
It's the Gremlins because they're all nice and fluffy when they're until you put water on them.
Spaceball says Welsh Fernandez. He is a bit of Welsh, isn't he?
Everything.
Roddy Hawaiian Man says, I'd rather he went to the USA than Asia. Humidity in the summer would sap our energy. Jay Jones says, Armon loved in Atlanta. Atlanta, I thought. Oh, Atlanta, of course, it is playing in his neutral position.
Natural.
Yeah, natural. Oh, natural. My eyes aren't working today. You have to have the mRNA jab to get into the US. No, though. I would be knackered if I could afford it. What's that, Billy? I never heard of that.
I think it's COVID vaccine stuff in it.
Yeah,
it's another version. It's another version of the. I could go all sciencey on this, but I won't. It's another version of the DNA.
Go ahead.
It's basically all of them were all the COVID vaccines were mRNA based, and it's basically the genetic code they use so that your body can actually recognise the COVID and attack it.
Now we know Newcastle have purchased back Strawberry Land. Possible rebuild. Mason, possible rebuild for the Gallagate. Do you think that'll happen?
Hopefully. I think we should because to be honest with the amount of tickets we get, I think it's an option we need to build or extend, some parts of the stadium, like mainly the Gallagate and East Stand, but East Stands we can't because of the uni homes in the back at the back. But the Gallagate's a good option because you've got obviously the road, you've got the metro as well. I don't know how much it holds, but I won't be surprised if they do like another 5,000 or 10,000 seats up there because the demand for tickets now is just unreal.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are missing out on watching good football this season and possibly next season with us being in the Champions League or you never know the Europa League. But I think there's the expansion should happen like minimum 5 to 10,000 more on the Gallagher side.
Dan, St James's Park is so magical. It really, really is. It's the most magical ground I've been to. It's just the atmosphere is absolutely superb, and I feel like if we were going to rebuild a new mega stadium somewhere, I don't feel like the atmosphere will be the same. So I'd much rather an expansion on St James's Park. What would you do? Would you rather build a new mega stadium, or would you just extend St James's Park?
No, just definitely extend St James's. It's got all the memories. It's got the atmosphere. The location's fantastic. Like whenever you're coming into the city, it's all you can see. You know where it is. It dominates the skyline. It's definitely an expansion of the ground. I think from what I was reading the other day, they're going to have a lot of architects involved in it, and I think it will get done. It might be 2-3 years down the line, but I think it will get done. There's just a lot of reworking to be done with the metro system and whatnot, but they could easily extend it round all full Gallagher and the corner. I think they'd probably be able to fit another 10,000 in, maybe 5 to 10,000 in, but it would be good to see. Definitely.
How is Lazar Maggot Drowner says Armon can stay in Atlanta. Rolly, I don't think he should stay in Atlanta. He's been performing brilliant this season.
Yeah, that's a rather strange one myself. He's finally done what everybody wanted him to do, is actually put some final product in there. He's our leading goal scorer, so why would you want him to go? I don't understand that one.
I think it's because Murphy's been performing so good that people that I think Armon is quite close to coming back. I think he's probably about two.
Even if Murphy was consistently performing better than Almiron, you still want him as a squad player. Impact sub, because it's a squad game. So at the moment, we're with most of the injuries recovered, we're in a place where when we make 4 or 5 changes, we're not dropping the level of performance.
Yeah.
The problem comes, and why we need to strengthen in the summer, is that once we get a few injuries, the starting 11's okay, but then the bench is very thin. So I mean that's why we're not. The players that we need to get rid of before you start looking at Almiron and the Murphys and the ASMs of this world, maybe by better players to make them squad players. But we've got the people that are out of contract. We've got Ryan Fraser, Jamal Lewis that need to go. So it just doesn't make any sense.
The Geordie View says if we had to play European qualifiers, it would start in August and would just be the Europa Conference playoffs. About Eurobank, when Newcastle get Europe next season, how do you think whether it be Europa or Champions League, how do you think Newcastle will get on in Europe next season from a Bristol City fans' point of view?
It'll be good to see someone quite new again go into the relatively new go into Europe. If it's Champions League, it will be very tough to progress. I reckon Europa League would be more of a fair shout. I think if the standards of team in the Europa League is quite good, it's quite solid. European quite sized clubs in the Europa League performing yearly and be good test for Newcastle. If it's a Champions League, it's obviously much better financially, and obviously the kind of aura of the Champions League. But if Newcastle are realistically going to win a European competition, it's probably going to be Europa League, which is quite respectable. I'd say Europa League would be a very good benchmark in terms of where Newcastle should be aiming for in the future.
I mean, fancy that Newcastle United lifting the Europa League trophy. Jesus Christ! I think I won't stop crying for 2 days.
I disagree with that slightly. In that, when you look at where we are now, we're in the toughest league in the world. We're third. We've only lost 3 games all season. The problem with the competing the Champions League isn't the teams, the depth in the squad. We can do as well as any of the English clubs in the Champions League with the way that we play and the quality of the players we've got. If we have a rush of injuries, that's when the problem in the Champions League comes about. But our full strength first team is as good as pretty much every team that's in that competition.
Yeah. Devon says Bruno Fernandes is the biggest pussy in the league, hands down. Nice comment there, Devon. I think. Does everyone agree with Devon there?
Yep.
Does everyone agree? Yep, I agree. Totally agree. He's the biggest pussy I've seen. Although Anthony's quite a pussy as well. I think every man, apart from the likes of the Casemiro pussies in that Manchester United squad, aren't they? I'm surprised we haven't entered into a partnership with Atlanta FC. Thoughts on that, Billy? Partnership with Atlanta.
It's a possibility in future, I guess. I mean, I think we'll be looking at using these links we've got abroad to get some secondary clubs going. I'm sure it's going to happen.
Isn't Atlanta where we got Darren Eales from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got Miggy there. We've got Darren Eales there. Yeah. Oh. Nobody wants to leave St James Park, so many of the next generation can't get in. Solution has to be found. I mean, yeah. Season tickets this summer are going to be a nightmare because there's just not enough room. I know 52,000 is a lot, but for where Newcastle are going in the future, we're going to pick up more and more fans as we go, and season tickets are going to be hectic, and they're all the prices it is, and we need more fans in that stadium as well if we're going to. And I know I think we definitely fill out a 100,000 seat stadium as well. But Mason, about the solution. about the expansion of St James Park, about fitting more fans in. I totally agree.
I do as well. Luckily enough, I'm one of the few who do have a season ticket, but I think this summer, if we do get into the Champions League or the Europa League, you'll see like basically the stadium full of people only going to the box office just to get season tickets up because of how much it's going to mean to the fans of being back in Europe for the first time. Like Champions League, 20 odd years, but for the first time in Europe, probably in 10 years. I mean, it'll be special. It'll be special as well. But I mean, going back to the season tickets and tickets for next season will just be the same as like last season with the Carabao Cup final and like tickets to go and watch the Carabao Cup and then league games as well. I mean, once we're going to the Champions League, it'll be a lot like bigger because we're going to be playing against likes of like Munich, Barca, Real, and we just need to improve that as well. And we need to improve the ticket on the ticket box office because you've seen this season, it's been an absolute joke.
Norvik says after we nick one of Andy's star players, we will be fine. Little Alex Scott there for taking away from Andy's Bristol City there.
Yeah, nominated for Young Player of the Year, isn't he, in the Championship?
Cracking player. Thoughts on that, Andy? Nick one of your players in summer.
Yeah, he'll probably win our Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year as well. I've spoken about enough about him. He's absolutely ridiculous. People will look at stats, just on stats, and go, "Oh, he doesn't produce enough, or he doesn't have enough goals and assists." I urge you, if you think that, I urge you, just watch him for 20 minutes. Any game, watch him for 20 minutes, and you'll understand how good he is. Without him, our midfield is basically non-existent. It's not apart from Matthew James, our midfield is non-existent without Alex Scott. We have nothing. We have no dribbling. We've basically no passing, and we've not really got any energy from midfield. We've got energy at other sides of the team, but no energy from midfield in particular. But when Alex Scott's there, the whole team just clicks. He is so crucial to how we play, but he's not irreplaceable. I think we can replace him when we do sell him. Yeah, he will go for at least 25 million, I think, which is, I think, a fair price for us. So yeah, if you get him, great, but you are not the only club interested in him. I've heard, I think it was Liverpool yesterday, were
we can beat them.
Inquiring. Well, depending on how they've treated Carvalho, I'm not sure they want to go in for him. But it could be any of the clubs that link to West Ham, Leeds, Everton, Spurs, Newcastle, Liverpool. Literally could be anyone.
Thoughts on that price, Dan? 25 million.
To be honest, I can't really say I've seen much of him, so I can't really comment on the price tag. To be honest,
yeah. Just going to go back to that comment because I see Annie laughing. Spacebar said, asking a Bristol City fan about European football is taking the piss. And that's exactly,
sorry.
And that is exactly why I asked the question.
Win. We go to Cardiff away every season. Apart from this season, we win every time, so we're okay.
Joy B says they have to watch if Gordon does start, then if he doesn't go over the top, trying to prove himself. Look, I think if Gordon starts against Aston Villa, he will give 110% like he does in every performance. When he steps on that football pitch, I feel like he's a bit of a Roy Keane mentality player. I feel like when he steps over that pitch, he's completely the devil. If you get in his way, he'll put you out the way. But off the pitch, he seems really nice, and he's a nice lad. He's
only a baby. A baby. See the other day on about Robertson.
Yeah, I saw that. Roy Keane, he never cracks a smile, bless him. But when he said that and everyone laughing, he had to crack a smile, didn't he, Rolly? Do you think Gordon's got a bit of a Roy Keane mentality about him?
You talking to me?
Yeah, talk to you, Rolly.
Yeah. It's a very difficult one, that, because I think he's got that sort of determination and he wants to impress. But Roy Keane's a very different sort of animal to just about any player that I've seen. But he's got that will to win. He wants to impress. He's got a bit of fire in him, which needs to sort of like control a bit. But I think comparing him to Roy Keane's a bit unfair.
No, I'll say about a Roy Keane mentality.
Yeah, even that. I think Roy Keane is unique in his mentality. I don't think I've seen a player with the same mentality he has. I don't think there's anyone that's come even close, because he's a totally different animal, in my opinion.
And the right word is animal as well.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's definitely calmed down since he's coming to us, that's for sure. We're now going to go on to predictions for the Aston Villa game. We're going to start with Mason. What are your predictions for Aston Villa, mate?
It'll be a tough game because obviously I said earlier on that Villa have been a different side under Unai Emery, and he got like I said, he got like players out who he didn't want, 2 players who he wanted in, and he's got players like playing from. So for me, I think I'm going to go for 1-1.
1-1.
Because of the hopefully Joe Linton and hopefully for Villa.
Hopefully for Villa. Fucking no one for Villa.
I think Buendia's going to score for Villa.
Well, I think Ollie Watkins is on some fiery form. Tell you what, I won't be surprised if he scores.
Like I say, it'll be a tough game on Saturday. I'll be happy with a win, but I feel like it's just going to be a 1-1 draw.
Right. Thank you for coming on, Mason, and make sure to get yourself back on next week as well.
It's been a pleasure. Cheers, lads.
Cheers. See you, Mason.
Cheers, Mason.
Dan, now we're going to move on to you with your Aston Villa prediction.
Yeah, I think it will be a tough game, but I think we're going to get another 3 points. I think it's going to be 2-0 Newcastle.
Scorers?
Isaac and Big Joe.
Lovely. Thanks for coming on, Dan, and get yourself back on next week. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
See you later. Rolly, let's see what your predictions are then for Aston Villa.
Yeah, I've not been impressed with Villa over those last few games. I didn't see the game against Forest, but saw the game against Chelsea, and they had 2 or 3 shots in the whole game, and they were gifted goals by Chelsea. We're not going to do that. I don't think they're going to score. And if we play like we did in the second half against Brentford, we'll win quite comfortably. If we don't, it'll be a little bit harder. I'm going for 3-0 Newcastle.
3-0. Bloody hell. I'll take that.
I don't think they're going to score.
Really?
I've not been impressed with them going forward. Not at all. Against Chelsea, they were gifted 2 goals, literally. Watkins finished. They finished them well, but they were gifted the opportunities. I think Isak will score. Let's have a Bruno, and we haven't seen a Trips free kick for a long time.
Yeah, Trips' deliveries and set pieces haven't been up to scratch in the recent weeks, but it'll be lovely to give him a bit more confidence.
He's overdue. He's overdue a goal from a free kick.
Last free kick goal was Man City, I believe, wasn't it, Billy? Man City, yeah. August 21st. That's been a while. Yeah, definitely want the Kieran Trippier free kick. But thanks for coming on, Rowley. Means a lot, mate. And get yourself back on next week.
Okay.
Cheers, mate.
See you soon, Rowley. Ta-ra, buddy.
Annie, what are your thoughts then for Villa?
I think it'll be tight. I agree with Rowley, actually. I don't think Villa will score. I think Newcastle's defence will shut them out. It's just whether Newcastle have got that quality to break them down. I'll say you do. I'll go very, very tight. 1-0 Newcastle win. Maybe from a counter attack or Isak or Murphy, something like that. Just it'll be a very tight game. I think I'll go for 1-0 Newcastle.
You're going for Isak, the scorers.
Yeah, sure, Isak. Yeah.
Thanks for your
Thank you for your
prediction, Andy.
Thank you for your chat, Jack. We'll do ours Thursday, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah. Well, me and Billy aren't going to do ours today, guys. We'll be doing that Thursday on the preview. So get yourself down on Thursday for the preview. But thanks, Randy, for coming on. I'll see you next week.
Right, see you, boys.
Cheers, Andy. Ta-ra, mate.
Ian says, just joined. Has Paul had a new hairdo? Well, if his hair's grown miraculously this long, then fair play. Great show, guys. Well done, Jack. Cheers, Ian. Will we be starting with the same starting 11? Honestly, mate, I do not know. But Billy's shaking his head. We'll come on to that on Thursday with the preview. Thanks for all the comments, guys. I'm very, very sorry. If I do ever host a show again, it'll be a little bit better. Background will obviously be better, but I'm on a laptop today, so it's a bit iffy. But thank you,
You've
guys.
done perfect, mate. You've done perfect.
Cheers, Billy. But thank you guys for watching. As always, everyone, make sure you guys to subscribe as well. And thank you for all the super chatters as well. It really does mean a lot. You can go follow our socials down in the description below. And if you want to go follow us on iOS or Android, go on to our Instagram and you should find the link there. But thank you for watching, everyone. Brilliant as always. Thank you to the moderators as well, and of course, thank you to Billy and all the people popping on. Thank you everyone for that as always. But we'll see you on the. Is it tomorrow? We're doing a live tomorrow.
I'm not sure, mate. You have to keep your eye on the notifications.
But yeah, don't forget to turn on post notifications so you'll be notified when we go live or do upload a video. Thank you for all your support as always, everyone, and we'll see you later. How are the lads?
How are the lads and lasses?
Can't end the live. Can't end it.
I'll do it.
Sorry for this, everyone.